Chickens live in fear of me. It's the only food I've eaten for months, and that cannot be a good thing for my long-term health. So today, we're gonna fix that by building a big farmhouse where we can get a much better food supply for our forever world. And once we are finished, all these chickens will thank us for the dietary change. So let's gather up some seeds for the new farmland and get to work. The whereabouts for our new farm will be set in this hill overlooking the east side of our base. It's an excellent view of the nearby builds and where we'll eventually build a massive tree around the nether farm. We'll start by setting up a flat plot of land for the farmhouse. My overall plan for the build is to have this be a home for the farmer-villager trading hall. We'll have a bunch of villagers working here on the farm all in one spot where we can trade for high-quality food like golden carrots more easily. In the way of channel announcements, I do have a very interesting video coming out soon, so be sure to stay for the end of the video where I'll talk more about that. For the house, I'm including a few small extensions that jut out. Having projections like this in your building can help a lot, keeping them from looking too flat and adding interesting personality to them. I like to use different colors on these extensions to make them look even more distinct. So future me here, I didn't realize this at the time, but I was about to make a near-fatal mistake for my server, all just by how I built the house. If you see what caused the issue, I would definitely like to hear about your thoughts in the comments, because I never fully narrowed down what the exact issue was, more than a few possibilities. I now have the core of the house done. The next step before the villagers can move in is to decorate some of the interior. So my idea is to build the trading stalls with shelves and fence gates. The fence gates don't quite connect with the shelves, so I'll add these blocks in the shelves to make it look more natural. With the interior coming together, huge love to all the fabulous humans supporting this growing world. If you're enjoying the cozy builds, consider subscribing to stick around for the journey. Now let's do a quick walkthrough before the villagers move in. So here is the farmhouse. It's actually 3 stories tall, believe it or not. We have our front porch area. I was thinking of adding some chairs here to overlook the land. Next to it, I have another section of roof here, steeped differently. I don't know what that kind of thing is called, but it's good to mix up roofs to keep them interesting. And for the walls of this section, I'm using smooth sandstone for the first floor and birch for the second floor. They go together better than I expected and fit the farmhouse vibe perfectly. Coming around back, you can see I added that projection from the house for the back door. I don't know why, but that kind of thing pops up all the time in real-world architecture, so I'm trying to mimic that in my builds these days as I get better at building houses. You can see I'm using trapdoor window shutters to give more detail to this flat space. Along the side, we have this walk-in area, and a bell to ring for when it's time to come inside from work. Up on the roof, I added a few more windows on this side. Again, to give the roof more shape, I'll fly up here so you can see that a bit better. Alrighty, let's take a look and see what the interior of the farmhouse has so far. Over here we have our open entryway going into our dining area. We have nice chairs where we'll eventually add cushions once that releases in the next update. There is also a cozy fireplace with some logs stacked nearby to keep this place warm. Now this section will be where most of our farmers will work and trade. Hopefully having them work from these stalls will help reduce lag with so many villagers all in one place. It shouldn't be too much trouble to bring them all in here, hopefully. The kitchen is only half built so far. A lot of the blocks I was planning on using are job blocks, and I don't want them in here yet until all of our villagers are locked in as farmers. Upstairs we'll have even more villagers at trading stalls. Eventually I'll put some paintings up here to brighten up the space. The house also has some nice views from the windows going out across the farmland, as well as towards the main base. In this corner I added a little grandfather clock with a bell. I'm not sure I'll keep it exactly as is because the observer triggers so often, but we'll see. Under the stairs I added this little closet. I threw a little bed under there as a reference to some copyrighted material that I'm sure many of you will recognize.
Harry Spotter, did you skip leg day again?
Going all the way up to the third floor, we have a little chandelier and a bedroom. The only reason I have so many beds is because we're going to need a lot of villagers to handle all the farmland that we will till. Now that I think of it, it's about time we welcome the first farmers. What's really sad is that these villagers have been living underground for nearly 10 months with very few visitors. So with many of my latest episodes, I have been building new homes and workplaces for these villagers so that they can have a much more fulfilling space. I'm sure this cozy farmhouse will be a massive upgrade from the dank underground that they are used to. I'd like to be the first to welcome you to your new home. Feel free to explore and make it your space. Okay, so something's definitely wrong here. These villagers are multiplying so quickly, and there's way more lag on the server than there should be for this amount of villagers. Something is definitely going on here. After doing some research, I guess the slabs and stairs can mess with the villager pathfinding quite a bit. I wouldn't think top slabs would be an issue, but I might as well switch them out for full blocks just to roll that out. The main issue with that is that I built this whole house with slabs to give the roof some extra height, so I have a bit of work to do. I also noticed that up at the top of the house I had some upside down stairs at eye level for the underside of the roof, and I'm not sure if that might also make the villagers try to pathfind everywhere, so maybe they're trying to pathfind all over the stair covered roof. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't be good. Again, if anyone knows what's going on here, I'd love any insight in the comments so I can understand this better for future builds. And just to be safe, I will also remove these shelves that they were walking all over earlier. I don't know how they handle those in pathfinding, so I'll just remove the shelves to keep it simple. Alrighty, with all that out of the way, I was able to plant all these crops and my server is no longer lagging out, and it seems like everything's recovered. If you don't know, I actually grew up as a beef cattle rancher in the real world, so all this farm work is practically second nature to me. Let's go check in on our farmer friends and see how they're doing. Now, isn't that rather odd? I have no clue why dirt is covering that up. Oh, this door too. What have all of you been up to while I was out? It is a rightful mess in here. Oh dear. Blocky son above. Zombies? In the house? Really? Zombies? Okay, everyone. Every single one of you is zombies. Oh, just hold still. That was almost really bad. There we go. I really should have put a door on the east wall rather than just leaving the entrance open. Well, you live and you learn, I suppose. Now I just need to quarantine all of you so I can cure you. Luckily, I often travel with my medical kit just for these kinds of predicaments. Okay, a little potion here. And I'll get all of you golden apples. Ooh, ow! These guys hurt a lot when I'm not wearing any armor. Glad it was just the totem that broke and not me. Looks like everyone up here is back to feeling themselves again. That means we can get back to working on the farmland. Just out front, I set up these mini wheat fields where the farmers can tend to the land safe from monsters. I have set it up in a way that the farmers should theoretically trade with this third farmer throughout the day as they harvest their crops. And I have all the supplies you could ever ask for. A few hundred seeds each should be plenty enough to get you started here. And now we can finally begin trading with all of our farmers. Now, farmers trade all sorts of delectably useful things, such as cookies and cake, which will be perfect for our bakery. But what I really need is something more healthy for my main diet. Luckily, farmers will eventually trade the most powerful superfood in all of Minecraft: golden carrots. But for them to be comfortable enough to trust us with this superfood, we will need to invest a bit more into their farm. So that is what I will do. I'm back at my own farm at the home base to gather up a bunch of pumpkins to trade. I used to have an automated melon farm, so I will also have plenty of those to sell too. And for some reason, farmers like giving me a discount after I'm stained in the XP of my enemies. So I'm at my raid farm to vanquish foes and hopefully make our farmers happier somehow. Yes, 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 they are loving all my crops. Yes, yes, yes! Give me some of those golden carrots, please! We are never going to have poor quality food ever again. I'll be a golden vegan. Or something like that, and those chickens can run free forever. And what a wonderful food this is. The perfect farmhouse for the perfect forever world. As always, I appreciate everyone who has made it to the end of the video, and for all of you fabulous humans who did, my announcement is that next episode will be the grand tour of the whole forever world. Me and everyone else on this server have designed some really cool things, and I can't wait to show it off all next episode. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. To finish the episode off, here is a quick montage of the fully decorated farmhouse. Thank you all, and I will see you at the Forever World Tour.